All right. Well, Chart Request Live. It's a show where you provide the requests, we provide the charts. Spencer Israel, Patrick Donawilla.
Not too much. Yeah, I know, right? Woke up and it was just like Nvidia just got absolutely murdered. It's down like I think 16% over that. Yeah, 16 more than 16%. But you know what's interesting is we're tagging this 200-day moving average for the first time since it bottomed out here. So first time in a couple of years that it's testing the 200-day moving average. If anything, I think that kind of speaks to how strong that trend has been, but it really needs to stabilize here. I mean, you're seeing the overall market, like just the Qs are down 3.5%.
But they've
Interestingly,
stabilized. So,
what? Yeah, they did.
yeah.
I mean, there's still a lot of green out there, though. You know, you look at the heat map, and
Yeah.
there's still a lot of. I mean, there's six sectors are positive, so it's really just tech and specifically those semis today. So if Nvidia can kind of stabilize here, you know, that'll be the key. But
Yeah.
whoa, they really they did it all in one day.
A lot of value outperforming today. Energy
Yeah.
is the exception to that rule. They're down 1.5%, but yeah, the staples are looking good. Real estate looking good. Communication, that's value looking good. Yeah, so yeah, it's
And
mixed. It's a mixed day.
you know, the one bright spot in tech is surprisingly Apple, which that's, you know, been the one that's been the problem up until today. And of course they have earnings on Wednesday, or no, Thursday.
Yep,
Um, and of course you got Meta, Microsoft, Tesla on
got them all.
Wednesday. So
All right,
big week.
it's a big week, a lot to discuss. We're not going to be doing a show on Thursday, so let's get in all the requests now that we can. We'll
Yeah.
start with a couple requests that we didn't get to last week. I wrote them down from the chat. So ZWS was the request from Mark Zerby.
All right. Mr. Zerby. He's always got a good eye for this stuff. So um
I have to confess, I don't know what ZWS is. Should I know?
Uh, you know, sometimes those are the
It's
best, right?
oh, that's right. I still have it open from last week. This is a it's a water they make like water in like industrial water filters, I believe, and
Oh,
water
okay.
distribution, water safety, that sort of thing. Plumbing, all that stuff.
Yeah, it's in that industrial machinery, 6.5 billion. You know, those small mid cap industrials have been really strong area relative strength. And you know, this has been the case for a lot of them. A lot of the times you'll see them and you're just like, I don't know what this thing does, but they have some weird niche in their business, and for whatever reason, that entire industry has been doing really well, and it kind of fits with that infrastructure theme. You've seen a lot of those infrastructure ETFs doing well too. But this one looks good here. Breakout happened in October. It's kind of retesting here. You know, it was got a little sketchy down there, but I think, you know, quickly reclaimed it. So looks like the breakout's on as long as it's above this 30, call it 37 level. And then from there, looking at 50 as a nice clean target here. I like that a lot. If we zoom out a little more, yeah, this is a nice long-term uptrend here, and it's kind of just gone nowhere since November 2021. So nice multi-year base here. I think above 37 gets you to 50 pretty easily, actually. Might take a little bit as far as I'm not sure about the relative trend. Oh, looks pretty good on a relative basis too. I mean, clear level of polarity right here. It was support here, resistance here. So once it gets above if it can get above there, and it looks like it's pointing in the right direction here, then you can see some serious relative strength out of this thing. So moving in the right direction. I like it, Mr. Zerby.
And we've been talking about the industrials, right, for the strength in industrials recently. So this just kind of fits in with that theme.
Yeah.
What about where was it? What about GitLab?
GitLab,
Yeah, GTLB.
GTLB.
This was a former SPAC, if I am not mistaken. Maybe I am mistaken. I don't remember anymore.
I mean,
I feel
either
like
way, it came public right around that mania, right?
yeah,
October 2021. So
maybe it
right,
wasn't. I don't remember.
right as the it seemed like, so risk appetite kind of peaked in a few different waves. First, there was like early on, like March 2020, 2022, and I'm sorry, 2021. You had things like China. I think ARK peaked around then too, and then you had a second wave of peaks in speculative things right around November. So, but either way, this one IPO'd in October, right before that, peaked right after, and then just got murdered. But I mean, yeah, let me just switch to a weekly here. Get rid of that. It seems like pretty clear level right around here, and I'm sure if we fibbed out the initial decline, we might get a retracement right around there. Yeah. So with this one, I would just stick to the Fibonacci levels. If it's above 68, 69, if you want to call it that, or even 70 if you're a whole number person, should get you to 95 here. And the way we always like to think about things, if a trend can recover at least 61 or 61.8% of its decline, that's usually good enough to get you back to the full recovery, that full 100% recovery here. But right now, I'd wait for that breakout and wait for the market to prove that it can get above that 69, 70 level. And then looks like 95 is good.
All right. What about Credo Technology Group? This is CRDO. This is from Hansen. He says he's already long. He's looking for support levels in CRDO. This is one of the lesser known semiconductor plays. It's only a $13 billion company.
Oh, really? This is a semi. I thought it might have been I think I might be getting it confused with Criteo. You know that one?
Maybe.
CRTO?
Yeah, but also this company, like, I don't think they make like chips. They make like other, I don't know how to explain it, like other internet infrastructure type things. But I think they're classified as a semi, even though they don't make computer chips per se. Maybe they do, but it's not their whole business.
Interesting. I mean, yeah, you have a lot of that in the semi industry. Like, I know a lot of solar stocks are classified as semis.
Yeah.
So there's definitely a lot of diversity within the semiconductor industry.
For sure.
But
anyway,
this one,
great.
Yeah, I mean, this one, beautiful breakout here. We always say after a tight multi-year kind of congestion or range like that sets the stage for a really nice trend. And you can see this one's just hit Fibonacci target after Fibonacci target, and clean this up a little. But this last one here, looks like RSI didn't confirm here on that last all-time high. So you have this nasty bearish divergence that's already starting to play out here. You do have some support here at this 53 level. That's the 423.6 extension. And those fibs have really come into play and been some pretty key turning points over basically through this whole uptrend here. So you got support at 53 here. I wouldn't be rushing to buy this thing on this decline. I know it's been a beautiful trend, and this thing probably looks like it's on sale today, down 30%. But if you could hold out to 53-ish, I think that's a better bet here. Close this earnings gap or whatever this gap was.
Well,
I'm not sure.
I didn't realize that. I didn't realize that was today. Yeah, 30% today.
Yeah.
What the hell?
Yeah, 30%.
They're really taking him out back. Oh my goodness gracious.
Yeah. So
I
think this would be a logical level to stabilize here. That does seem like quite a lot here, 30%. I'm not sure what happened, if it was earnings or.
No, no, this is
Oh,
the whole
okay.
this is the tech wreck today. That's what this is.
So, maybe we haven't seen the end of that. I think
Oh my
maybe waiting to
God.
see how that stabilizes, but wouldn't be rushing to buy this thing on this
Wait,
kind
so
of
you were saying support where at 50? Is that what you said at
Yeah,
53?
right around 53 here. I think that would be a logical level to kind of stabilize this decline. But after kind of a gut punch like that, it usually takes a few weeks to stabilize. It's got to stop going down first. That's kind of step one, and that's a process. And then it's got to build up momentum again. So, I wouldn't expect this thing back at the all-time highs or even back at Friday's price
That's
for another 6 months at least.
that's it. Yeah, that's exactly how I would describe today. It's a gut punch.
Yeah,
That's what, and like that happens. Nothing you could do about it. You didn't know on Friday, right?
yeah.
Yeah, there was going to be a tech wreck on Monday. It just is
The
what it
Chinese are
is.
gonna feel all
Because
that.
if you take today's candle out of the equation, it looks pretty damn good, right?
Yeah, it sure
But
does.
this kind of thing can happen, unfortunately.
Yeah.
This is sort of a feature, not a not a bug. All right, let's go to the chat here. What about Enphase Energy? For Jenny from the bank, which is a great name indeed. I know Steve had put on a couple solar options trades on Friday. Not Enphase was not one of them, but he's been watching this trade. Enphase has not really been playing ball lately. Are those new? Those are, no. We're not. These are not lows of the move. The low was $58 from a few months ago, so we're not quite there. But
Oh yeah, yeah,
and also from Thursday, yeah, Thursday.
yeah,
So,
yeah.
but we're on the precipice.
I mean, it did I do like that reversal on Thursday. I mean, it retested those and held really nicely. If we go down and retest those lows this week, I think you're going to want to see RSI continue to make higher highs, show that bullish momentum divergence. But this one, it's tough. I think it could stabilize if it makes another low here. We want to see it reclaim 74, and 74 could get you to 120. But definitely looks like its momentum is not the strongest here. After this 2021 top, it's just looks like kind of a distributive top here. Not my favorite, but
I mean, yeah, the whole space has been tough, right?
yeah.
Some stocks, like talking about Apple earlier, like Apple, like every dip has like eventually been a dip to buy. Solar, it's like every rip has been like eventually a rip to sell.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
it's just
that's a
like
great.
that's kind of the way it goes. So
Um,
can money be made on the long side? Absolutely. Is it more likely than not that it'll go down more? Yes, it is. I don't know. The whole space is it's brutal.
yeah, this
Although
here is.
if there is a silver lining, it is the last time Trump was in office, Tan crushed it. Just look at that chart there.
Yeah.
I mean, granted, those returns were somewhat backloaded to the end of his term, but nonetheless, you know,
No, you're absolutely right, and I think it would make a lot of sense from a contrarian point of view.
yeah.
We're looking at the solar relative to the S&P, and as Spencer was saying, I mean, it's just like there's every chance it's ripped has been a selling opportunity, but you never know. I mean, it could definitely happen under the new regime.
All right, this is a good one from Wavy. He's looking at PBI, Pitney Bowes. What has gotten into this thing?
Yeah, what is Pitney Bowes really? Are they consulting?
Yeah, it's like financial. What is it? It's not financial services. I think it's like professional services, right?
Oh, okay.
I think, right? They help clients succeed by simplifying the complexities of commerce and enabling the billions of transactions around the world. So it's like it's like an e-commerce solution, right? I guess is what you'd call it.
Okay.
Yeah, they are a certified work share partner of the U.S. Postal Service. All right, so I guess it's like a mailing and shipping company, but for for corporations.
Yeah. It
What's gone
was
into this thing?
Yeah, last couple of weeks it's it's up 8% today and then 17% last week. So quite the rip. What do we have earnings recently?
I don't believe so. Earnings season kind of just started, so
Oh yeah, wow. Interesting. Um, Maybe you could find some news on the stock, but
I mean, they announced a couple of days ago. What's today, the 27th? So last week they announced some cost saving measurements. They are paying down some debt. And what else did they say last week? Oh, they completed an acquisition. I don't know, man. This is sort of a granted I've looked at this for a grand total of 30 seconds, but it's sort of a mystery.
yeah, it's possible. Maybe it's just the decline just got to an end.
I think I think this might be like balance sheet stuff. I think they're just tighten up their balance sheet a little bit. They paid out some debt. They're reducing some costs. They announced that in December that they had paid down. They had reduced their debt load by $75 million. So, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like it's trying to stage some sort of reversal here. Looks like it could get interesting above this $10 level here. Those, resistance back here in 2021, support a little bit here. But I think 10 gets you to, yeah, wow, 28. It could take a while, but I've heard a few people talking about this one too. We got to look into this one.
All-time high, $73, just a little bit away from that. That was in 1999.
And looks like the relatives trend is trying to improve too here. Kind of trying to get that bottoming out, but as far as just the absolute goes, it's tough. I wouldn't get too excited until it breaks that $10. If you want to try to jump the gun here, that's totally fine, but I wouldn't let it get too far below 850. I don't see any reason to be long below 850.
All right, what about TLT here for Bill? He has
TLT.
long TLT at 85 and $90 via some call options. All right, well, congratulations on your trade that's profitable.
I mean, this one has just been such a dog. Just can't get going. With this one, I just look at my kind of benchmark for yields is really the 10-year. I know it's
as it is for everyone, right?
Right, but that's kind of what I just defer to on that. But as long as this thing's below 4.7, I think got to err on the side of further downside for yield. So I think makes sense to be in the TLT here. And this is what I'm looking at here. Like this failed breakout above this 4.7 level. These couple days a few weeks ago when we were above that, everybody were talking about 5% in the 10-year, 5% in the 10-year. Yields are going, and then you start hearing the ridiculous numbers, right? Like when yields peaked over here, that was when Rick Santelli got on CNBC and was talking about 13% yields in the 10-year. So here we were just breaking this 4.7. We're all talking about 4.5 and giving out other crazy price targets here. So this, you got the 10-year forming a little head and shoulders after a false breakout over here. I think yields are going lower. So back to TLT here. It's just been such a dog. I think this is really like kind of a long-term reversal pattern that's kind of going on here. We kind of have this like head and shoulders. Problem is like it also looked like a head and shoulders over here too. And then you had this failed breakout above these January highs here. Well, let's put it in a line chart, just simplify it out. I think you just want to be looking for more confirmation at this point that the reversal's in. So what does that look like? Reclaiming these April lows at 90. That'll next step get you to 93. That would be the next kind of confirmation. But this thing, you want to see it slowly form a base here. It's like we were talking about, it's got to stop going down first before it can slowly build momentum. So that's kind of what I'm looking at here. I think maybe early next year or by the end of this year, you're looking at clearing these April 2023 highs around 108 here. So I do think maybe this was the capitulative low back in October 2023, but I think it could take quite a while. I mean, it's a process, like kind of like what we're seeing in China. That bottom has taken years to really take shape, but it's still working in the right direction. But it's been really messy. So I expect TLT to probably be the same.
I'll be honest, I didn't realize that anyone actually traded TLT. Obviously, people do, institutions do. I just assumed it was all institutions and bots trading with each other. I didn't realize that people actually bought that.
But and they got a few of those leveraged ETFs on them too. I think
of course, I'm sure they do. I'm sure.
Yeah, they got leveraged ETFs on anything these days.
Okay, a couple more. Let's hop out of here. CEG. This is for Nicholas. What do we got? I think we looked at this
one taking it on the chin today.
God, 20% today.
Yeah, all these
what the hell?
Okay,
yeah,
hello.
Uranium's getting. This is uranium, right?
I saw a meme. It was like uranium's getting nuked today.
Yeah. Oh my God.
So what is it, CG? Yeah. I mean, these things. I would wait for the dust to settle. I mean, I get it. These things have been so strong, and then you see a day like today, and it looks like let's go rush out and buy the dip. But those kind of gut punch declines, for lack of a better word, those usually take a little bit to at least bottom out, a few days to bottom out. And then what you want to be looking for a lot of these declines, I think, is the VWAPs, right? You want to be looking at the VWAP from today's VWAP, and then also the VWAP from the open if you're a little bit of a shorter term trader.
Wait, what about a longer term VWAP?
Yeah, I mean those are definitely coming into play too, like on Apple.
From the high of that prior move from October, or the low of this recent move in December?
If you're looking for support, you'll probably be looking at VWAPs from the lows, like either the August 5th low, things like that. Now, Apple has this huge level right here around right around 217, and I'm pretty sure it tagged it in the pre-market, and then that's like kind of where this rally started. Let me just look. So I got down to 218 today. Came very close to that really long-term support level, and that's the April VWAP from last April, and you can see that's just right next to that 200-day moving average. So, and I'm pretty sure it's a Fibonacci extension, or I'm sorry, Fibonacci retracement too. But either way, that 317 level, coming into the week, it was really important with earnings and stuff. I don't think we're going to revisit it after this candle in Apple today. And also, I know we didn't get asked about Apple, but I think the fact that Apple's already reclaiming last week's, this gap here, it already closed that. I think that's also really constructive. Next thing you want to watch for is this 236 or 237 level here. Those were the July highs, and you can see it's just been really important here. So if Apple can get above that 237 level, it's back on. You'll be looking to all-time highs from there.
Oh wait, so what about back to CEG? The bottom line here on CEG was like, just maybe wait for the dust to settle. We're on day one here. It might take a couple days. I mean, it might not, right? Like, there's always a chance of a V bottom. It happens.
Totally.
Yeah. So.
And you had this momentum divergence here too. Didn't confirm here. I think you want to see it stabilize in this all the way down to 275-ish. But let's take a little bit zoomed out look here. Yeah, that's a gnarly decline.
Yeah.
I think just waiting for the dust to settle, see if it closes this gap at all this week. But yeah.
You just undid, so January, you just undid 3 weeks of gains in one day, essentially.
Yeah.
Is what just happened. So that's really tough, man. Okay, let's do a couple more and then we got to go. SWK, hot pepper. I mean, you want to keep looking at
SWK.
I was thinking of yes, SWK is right. I was thinking that was SWKS for a second. So, but it's not. So.
Skyworks, yeah.
But no. All right, so yeah, moving away from like a bloodbath today. Let's go. Staples, where we at? Is this a staple?
So this one, I think you want to see it clear those former highs there.
Is this an industrial?
109. It does look like it's like in this nice little channel. So if you're kind of a shorter term trader and you want to trade this range, I could see that. It looks like it is trying to make it back to the upper end of this range, but eventually it's going to have to leave this weird little trading range. I mean, I don't know what you want to call that. It's like a mildly rising channel, but I would really like to see it above like 109, 110 before I get involved. Yeah. It looks like that 109 could get you to 144. And it's certainly kind of tested this area and been building enough tension down here, consolidating at those COVID lows. So I like this one. Momentum's improving. Makes sense. Trading nicely into earnings too. You got earnings next Wednesday. It's been up like 4 weeks in a row.
All right, this is a good one. What about Reddit? This is from Steve S. Looks like a balance in the channel. I bought at the 159 support. I think will break out for earnings ? Reddit has been like kind of stodgy, right? It's taken a while. Like it's been in an uptrend, right? It's had how many green months in a row? 1, 2, 3, 5 green months in a row. But it's slow and stodgy. It hasn't like really taken off like a meme type stock or a tech stock,
right? I mean, I actually didn't know this one was that strong. I don't love this momentum divergence, but man, it's been going on for a while, and those really don't matter until they do, right? A lot of the times it's too late once they do, but that's tough. With this momentum divergence, I think this thing just looks like it's getting heavy, and it looks like it's just waiting for a reason to correct here. I would wait to get involved on this one, but man, it's been such a nice trend. It went public last March. Yeah.
So we're coming up in the 1 year. You know what? It's worth noting. Sure, I'm actually lockups are typically 6 months, so we're past that. So never mind.
Looks like it's got earnings coming up in a couple weeks.
Yeah.
Looking at support at like 135-ish if it does sell off. I think that'd probably be nice logical support level. But I don't love this momentum divergence. Now, if it does get above that 196 fib here after earnings, I think then you're looking towards significantly high, around 295. So it's tough. I mean, it's just kind of been consolidating under this one for the longest time.
All right, let's do one more for Eva. Let's do DOCN, DigitalOcean. I do not know this company. It is only $3.7 billion market cap. IT services. What do they do? Cloud computing.
DOCN. Cloud computing.
Speaking of stodgy, yeesh.
Yeah. It's a pretty messy one, and I mean, I get the temptation to own it, but
do you? I don't.
Actually, you're right. I mean,
I'm not really sure what you're seeing here. I
mean,
is there a dividend? No, there is not.
It's definitely working in the right direction. It's trying to establish a new uptrend after this downtrend kind of just went from like down to flat, but it's working in the right direction. I think if you want to trade this thing above 41 to 65, I guess, but it's just so messy. Um, I think a better trend here, a better trade would be waiting for it to get up to 65, trade it up to the all-time highs. That would, I think, be a much higher probability of success. Let it kind of, this is kind of what you want to see it happen here, like basically form a big old base. If this is truly, a bearish to bullish reversal here, you want to see a big base here form. I mean, that's how a trend is going to build momentum like that. It's like going up a half pipe, right? That's kind of how you kind of gotta build momentum in order to ride it up. And that's why I say, you could get cute and do the 41 to the 65. I'd rather do the 65 to 135 here. At that point, you would have built up a little more momentum.
Mr. Zerby says that these guys are competitors with Amazon and Microsoft. That's your first problem right there. With Amazon and Microsoft.
That's
not a place I'd love to be. Although, as we learned this weekend, apparently, you don't need to spend a few $1 billion on computer chips to make a decent AI model. I don't know. We'll find out.
Right.
Anyway, all right. We got to hop now. Once again, we will not be doing a show on Friday. At least I don't think we will. If we do, it'll be a surprise. Maybe, I don't know.
You never know.
You never know. I'll be home. Will you be home on Friday? I don't even know.
Friday might be.
Might be. Maybe we'll do a show on Friday. We'll see what happens. How about that?
We'll see.
Thanks for the requests. As always, if you want to get them on, or sure we get them on, email them to us, questions@stockmarketmedia.com. And we'll be back either Friday or Monday. So smash the like. Thank you very much. And Pat, thanks a lot, man.
Cheers.
All right.